Hi everybody. Today I'm so glad to talk with Thiaga Nadeson, Head of Markets and Education at WWF office in Malaysia. Hello Thiaga, how are you?
Hi Alex, I'm fine, how are you?
Thanks, good. So you are working with WWF in Malaysia. Maybe you can tell us first a little bit about environmental education in general in Malaysia.
Environmental education in Malaysia has been there many years ago. Earlier it was a single subject. Until 1991 it was taken out, and infusions and integrations were used, and until now that's the approach that Malaysian government using to introduce environmental education across the curriculum in Malaysia.
So you're using these terms, infusion and integration of environmental topics into different subjects. What is the difference? Maybe you can tell us first what is infusion.
Yeah, infusion simply means that how the teacher is sharing information about environmental education through a particular subject.
Can you give an example?
For instance, in English, the teacher used the content of environmental education to teach English, whether it's comprehension, essay, or writing. So that's particular. That is a short examples of infusion.
For example, like a teacher who is teaching English, they could the text that they use will be about environmental subjects, right? Or like environmental conservation or some problems.
Yeah, correct. So to give a very simple further examples of infusion is, let's say that the teacher wants to talk about or want to teach about comprehension, right? The article that the teacher wants to use for that particular lesson can be on particular subjects for a particular topic. For instance, like on rainforest, on tropical rainforest. So from the articles, the teacher can actually come up with certain questions that are related to whether the student has understood the contents of the article.
The environmental contents.
The environmental content of the article. And the questions that the teacher asked will be testing about how that student has comprehend or has acquired the knowledge about tropical rainforest. So that is infusion. But what the students are being tested is actually on English.
But okay, and the next level up is the integration, right? So what is integration?
So integration is a bit complex because it's simply can refer to the connections of various or series of infusions within a subject, or connections of series of infusions within a few subjects. For instance, like if let's say that the lesson on integrations revolve around 4 steps, as a beauty of nature, issues on nature, challenges in addressing those issues, as well as solutions to address those issues. English subject, they can talk about beauty of nature, and that can be elaborated further through infusions on beauty of nature in science subjects, and that can be elaborated further on through infusions of beauty of nature in geographic subject. And another subject can talk about even the deeper aspect of the beauty of nature. So when we combine all those things, that is what we call as integrations. But the same thing can happen across different subjects. Through different through the 4 steps. English can talk about beauty of nature. In science, can talk about issues of the nature, and then challenge in geography. It can be exposed to what are the challenges that to overcome these issues. And in other subjects, we can talk about what is the students' participation in terms of addressing those issues. So it can be looked from different angle.
So I guess with integration, there's a more coordination between teachers of different subjects when they try to specifically targets one type of environmental issues and look at it from different perspectives.
Right. Absolutely right. So more planning need to take place when integrations want to be applied. So infusions, in short, that one teacher can do it because the teacher is actually in control of that particular subject. But when we want to talk about integrations between subjects, this is where the teacher has to plan. Many teachers who are teaching different subjects has to come and start to think about how different issues are being discussed, how different challenges are being discussed, and how that they want to plan to integrate environmental education through the 4 steps that I have mentioned earlier.
So, like on a first part of integration is coordination between teachers of different subjects, and second, what I noticed is that the knowledge that they teach is kind of more actionable, right? It's not just using environmental topics in different subjects, but have a more genuine discussion on how to address them, maybe what behavioral changes can be done, or what students can do to contribute to resolving those issues.
Yeah, correct. So for instance, like if let's say the last subject is on moral education, so students, teachers can talk about from the moral perspective, what is their actions means as an individual or as a community. So that is actually the subject of the discussions. But really, what they are learning is about the moral and civic mindedness in teaching those subjects. Yeah. So in short, the infusions and integrations can happen in many ways, but infusions require less planning as compared to integrations.
Well, thank you so much. We got now better understanding of infusion versus integration of environmental ideas in different subjects in schools. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.